World Series stop. This is the the ultimate event. Right now we're into match 5, and it's Pool C, Ireland and France, head-to-head. France have dominated this fixture, but last time out in Toulouse at the home event, it was the Irish who upset. So lots on the line here. Excited to be joined by former USA Eagles captain Madison Hughes. And Madison, so excited to see the crowd here, but first game for these players, what are they looking for?
Yeah, I mean, the first game in the tournament, these guys haven't played in a couple months now since London, and for the French, I'm sure that defeat to Ireland on home soil will still be in the back of their mind. You always hate to lose in front of your home fans, so a bit of a revenge outing maybe for the French. For both these teams, those places in the standings are all kind of in flux, and they'll have seen the Americans win this morning, know that they could be coming and getting more points than they might have counted on. So every point matters as you look at those final season standings, and for the Irish, who have never finished as high in the standings as they are right now, they'll want to make sure they come and get their tournament started off on the right foot.
Great stuff. That is Ruben Keane from Australia in the middle. He's our referee. Ireland in their traditional green jerseys. France kicking off from left to right in their blue jerseys. Ireland to receive. Gathered at the back. So confident on the ball of the Irish in their patient build-up. Of course, both these teams last played in London. It's been a bit of a break, as you said, Madison. Ireland stretching it out wide. Happy to play with the width. Hugo Lennox pushes it through. This man on his toes is a dangerous sight. Terry Kennedy. Isolation there as Aaron O'Sullivan was isolated, but the French arriving players were off their feet, didn't support their own weight.
Yeah, just inaccurate in the breakdown, coming through, trying to get on the ball as quickly as they could, but you've got to do that in a controlled manner. The Irish maintaining possession, going through some calm passages of play there, probing against this French defence, forcing them to move side to side. And in the early going, that's often what you want to do. Force the defence to work, force them to show you what they've got, and then you can get into the latter stages of the half and start to bring out some more creative tricks.
Yeah. Stay there.
So Ireland choosing the set piece, going down the sideline. Willie Roche.
Good marks there.
One name who is not available for selection is Jordan Conroy, the speedster. There's an S by his name in our team sheets. That's saying he's suspended. Now, whether that's internal or whether that's a previous infraction, we're not quite sure, but he's not available here, so Irish are going to have to do it without him. They execute the line out well. The offload goes to the wrong team. Well intercepted by Pierre Mignot. And now the French have their first attacking opportunity. Pauline Riva, the captain, passes out of contact. Mignot stepping. Beautiful work from Nelson Efe, the 21-year-old. He's been outstanding this season on the series. That extra oomph to get the ball out wide on the left-hand pass to Jonathan Logel. Ball spilled. Brian Mullen gets his hands on it. Well, a tense affair right now. Both sides making little mistakes. Hugo Lennox brought down midfield. Roche pirouetting on one tackle. At 5'6", he's one of the smallest players, but he's packs a punch, does he? As does this man, McNulty. He has had an incredible season, and into space. Finally, they wear down the French defense. Terry Kennedy has 47 tries to his name already. This is number 48 in Los Angeles.
Jordan Conroy not in, but don't forget about Terry Kennedy. Absolutely deadly combination of footwork and speed. The Irish doing very, very well just to hold on to possession, force the French to go after them through phase after phase of defence. And then Kennedy, spotting the French first defender, was really, really wide there, picks it up from the breakdown, scoots through the gap, and goes the distance with no French sweeper in front of him.
Yeah, and if you're new to the Sevens game, defensive organization and defensive roles are just as important in the Sevens game, and French player late to get to that post position. Kennedy makes them pay, and the extras are added.
The Irish with a great start to this match. Exactly how they'll have wanted to, and showing that without Conroy, they're still able to get those long-range tries on the board.
What a massive kick right out of your shot. One of the highest kickoffs on the series. French gather well, though. They're so confident on the ball. Big man's around the corner. Damu. That's a turnover. He's just bundling the touch, and French coach Jerome Doré will not be happy with that being that easily pushed over.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think often as a rugby player you think, oh, I'm getting around the outside, but stepping into touch, turning over the ball over in that way is exactly the same as turning over in any other aspect of the match. So the French, they've just conceded, they've got their hands on the ball, they've immediately given it back to the Irish, and now Ireland can get back on their front foot and try and chain together some tries, build some real momentum in this first half.
Ireland to throw in. This is their second trip to the Los Angeles Sevens. They were 6th here in 2020. Highlight of that was a draw with the eventual winners, South Africa. They're looking to go better here, and they currently sit 5th in the World Series standings above the U.S., who had an incredible start. Your old team, Madison, your countrymen, with an impressive victory over South Africa, and that will be a penalty against the French.
Hands in the rough.
Perez just not on the ball, so the referee is now really looking that even if you're in what looks like a solid poaching position, you've got to make sure your hands are on the ball and not floating around on the man's body and giving the picture rather than actually being on it.
Well, it's clear the Irish are happy with this tempo. They're taking their set pieces. How important is that against a team like the French with the likes of Epé and Perez and Rivas, some real danger men?
Yeah, it's important to be composed when you're playing against a team with a sort of strike runners like that. The last thing you want to do is turn over the ball and give them possession on a broken field. Having said that, traditionally the French sometimes not the fittest team on the circuit, so pushing the pace against them, forcing them to defend phase after phase can be a good strategy against them.
The Irish playing with supreme confidence. Set piece as required. Now they go wide. Kennedy sets it up. Just drops it off to Sullivan. 22-year-old's been an important part of this Irish success this season. He's really come on. Earned the start here in the first game, and that will be a penalty.
Played it on the ground.
Playing the ball on the ground. Quick tap is not through the mark.
You got to play it behind.
A little bit of an accuracy there from Ireland. Something they'd really avoided in the first kind of 6 minutes of this half. So they've done a really good job of going through phases, maintaining possession. A little bit careless with ball in hand, and that gives the French now. They've been on the back foot. They've defended a lot in this half, but now they have possession with 30 seconds left on the clock. They can afford... Fantastic kick there. Great touch finder, gets a ton of territory. In sevens, you often go a little more conservative, but now the French inside the Irish 22 with the chance to tie it before halftime.
JP Barak with a massive kick there. Great to see him back in a French jersey. This will give them attack in the dying moments here. First time approaching the red zone for France. Barak over the line. Appeal to the ref is successful. The referee says the men in green were offside. The half won't end on a penalty. After absorbing all that pressure, the French still in this, looking to tie it up at the end of this first half. This is Pool C action. We should note we have Fiji and Wales to come after this. They round out this pool, so it's pretty much wide open. Quick tap. The big man, 5 meters out. Berendam was brought down. Reorganized a one-on-one battle out wide. The footwork of Pierre Mignon is outstanding.
I had advantage.
He's got the high tackle. He doesn't like it, but he's going to like the fact that he's got the first try of the match for France.
13.
France striking back and getting on the board right at the end of this first half. They've, really were on the back for the first 6 minutes, have a minute of possession, score the try, and a difficult conversion to try and tie it up for Barak, but the French will go in relatively even and pose for an interesting second half.
You see Andrew Smith off the bench. Actually, it was barely a contact over the shoulder line. Don't know what Mignon was on about. There's the conversion. Not up to much. Here in Los Angeles, it is the Irish with the early lead, 7 points to 5 over France. Great scenes here, Madison, the Dignity Health Stadium in Los Angeles. This event that you know so well started just down the road in San Diego, Las Vegas, and now back here in Los Angeles again. It's great to see.
Absolutely, it's moved around a few times, but here in LA, trying to kind of rebuild that momentum. The crowd are trickling in. We're starting to get some numbers in here. Posed for a fantastic day of rugby. Southern California, hotbed of rugby here in the US. So hopefully we get a good turnout over the weekend and have a fantastic event.
Well, there is Jérôme Daré, the great Sevens mind. And equally, James Topping, a calmer huddle over there. A few messages going in, lots of ice towels. That is the requirement here in Los Angeles. Very hot here today.
So Jérôme Daré think he's just asking his players to, once they make that tackle, work and then get across the breakdown and cause a nuisance to themselves in the breakdown. I think the French, thinking they've played a lot of defense, they're allowing Ireland to retain possession through phase after phase. They need their tacklers to work hard, try and get those turnovers in the breakdown, and make Ireland have to work a little bit harder to maintain possession.
Full C action, it is the second half. Ireland versus France. Upcoming in this pool, Fiji and Wales. Fiji, one of the 4 teams here in Los Angeles who could still win the HSBC World Series outright. Keep our eyes on that one, up against the Welsh. Kickoff goes long. Perez brought down on their own 22 are the French. Savite Randamo puts the body on, and they win the penalty.
You are.
French miss touch badly, so it's infield. Free possession for the Irish, even though they're deep in their own end. That's a value in the Sevens game. Just the ankle tackle. Enough from Riva. And again, the French penalized coming in the side of the breakdown.
So the coach asked them to do a bit more work in the breakdown. They try and do it there, but just slight inaccuracy coming in from the side. It allows Ireland to slow the game down. And we saw Barak had a fantastic kick for touch earlier, the mistake on that one. And that is kind of the risk reward when you go for those long distances. You might get it one time, but the next time you miss touch and you give the other team possession.
Of course, both these teams preparing to get on a plane, head down to Cape Town in South Africa. The Rugby World Cup of Sevens. Last played in 2018, just up the road in San Francisco. And everyone's looking forward to that great event in Cape Town. September 9th to 11th. If you're anywhere near, come and join in the party. Right now, it's Ireland looking to get their first win here in LA. They're up by 2.
High tackle.
High tackle advantage being played.
Advantage over.
Happy to go with the width. And why not when you got Hugo Lennox out there? A nice offload from him. High stepping from the substitute. That's Ed Kelly, the 21-year-old. Quick tap. This could be trouble for the French player.
Got to be on his feet, number 5.
Fair play to Keane. He said it's completely accidental. When he went for the quick tap, the French player was in the way.
On feet.
And probably did that knowing the French player might have been in the way. A little bit of gamesmanship, doesn't get the call, but Ireland will have the penalty after that nice little break from the outside, through the outside. And Ireland slowing it down, as they were in that first half, content to slow it down on these penalties.
So Mark Roche, the talisman, as the set piece. McNulty goes forward. That one's bobbled backwards, so it's a play on. Ireland rounding the corner. In the end, they go right through the middle. 3 French jerseys waiting for them.
Advantage, off feet.
More advantage,
number
more
1.
penalties against the French. Inside ball. McNulty keeps that right arm free.
Advantage
Endlessly
over.
asking questions of the Irish, of this French defense. Nice step there from Andrew Smith. He's also off the bench, but they've been penalized. The arriving support's off their feet. Quick tap from Mignot. The other French players may be less interested in upping the tempo here, but they are down by that conversion. It's Nelson Epe. This is his first real touch. He offloads out of the tackle.
Just in the tackle.
Sloppy again. Really impressed with Ruben Keane. He knows what the players are concerned about. He's communicating clear and early, and that's all you're looking for from a referee.
Absolutely. I mean, he is really talking, and that's fantastic that you're getting those decisions. A bit loose. Both teams looking like they might be getting a little bit tired. The sun is coming out. It's warming up here in Los Angeles. But all to play for, and both teams, I mean, they'll know they have to play Fiji later today. And anytime you got Fiji in your pool, you know that you've got to get a result in those other matches. So this one, for both teams, critically important for their chances of making that cup quarterfinal.
Too late for starting. Too late for starting.
This French team, of course, have beaten Fiji and Dubai earlier in the season, but right now they're down to Ireland.
Fine.
But they have possession, just over 3 minutes to play.
Set.
The bounce pass. Again, not a lot of innovation from the French attack. It's just one-on-one rugby. Not much he could do. Trying to roll out of there was Ed Kelly, but he's been penalized. Bit more traditional width. Now they're moving. Pierre Mignot. Off to Jordan Sefo, another danger man. He's come off the bench. The French have had tons of possession here. Nothing to show for it in the second half. There it is, though. Varian Pasquet had enough width, stepped one defender and fended the second. France's second try and the lead for Varian Pasquet.
Pasquet doing a fantastic job. The Irish defence sliding across. All of their bodies were turned towards the sideline. We see here, showing that weak shoulder. Pasquet steps back, brushes off the trailing tackle of Billy Dardis. It goes under the post to put the French up with the going into the last 2 minutes of this game.
Well, imagine that's the benefit of playing with that width in the previous phases. Then the defenders in the midfield have just too much ground to cover, as we saw there.
Absolutely. I mean, Ireland, they were playing 7 up in defence there. So when you've got 7 in your front line, as the Irish did, you'd like to think you're going to have enough width, but getting really sucked into that breakdown. It looked like the Irish tried to really attack the breakdown, tried to attack that sideline, and that meant that when the French moved it back, the Irish defenders had a lot of ground to cover. They got very turned to the sideline and opened up that weak shoulder for Pasquet.
France in control, but they kick that one long and out of bounds. It will be a free kick midfield. Crucial mental mistake from the French there. Is that going to allow the Irish back into this one with 1:15 to play? Again, the Irish are going to go for a call from the training pitch.
Without delay now.
Quick tap, midfield, options both sides.
Backwards.
Ball's gone backwards. They're still alive. McNulty spinning like a ballerina out there.
Pulled away.
This is good intensity from Niall Comerford off the bench. Short ball, great line of attack coming in off his wing. Beautiful footwork and interplay for the Irish players all the way under the post. Ireland retake the lead.
Ireland striking back and crucially able to touch it down under the post, giving the easy conversion to put them 2 points ahead. They did score just before the 30-second mark, so there will be a kickoff and another opportunity we'll see who wins possession from that kickoff, because there won't be long after the kickoff is retained. But the Irish conversion here from Billy Dardis.
Jay Mullins, outstanding work coming off his wing, running that short line, and then having the presence to run it around under the poles. Jay Mullins gets it done. Ireland with that narrow 2-point lead, and that's the ebb and flow of this game. Right now, it's Ireland on top. One of the best kickoff teams on the series. Can Ireland get the ball back? Claim a crucial win here. Pool C. It's a hanging kick, perfectly weighted. It's tapped back though. France have their hands on it. There's 4 Irishmen in the ruck. If they can release this, there's going to be opportunity. Logel spins around. He's looking for his 50th try on the series, and what a time to get it here. Didier loses the ball. The Irish, all they need is a successful run completion. They've got one better, a penalty.
2 off feet.
Really good win here for the Irish. They'll be able to kick this into touch, and a really hard-fought battle. Both teams giving it everything they've got, but it is the Irish who come out on top and take that win in their first match here in LA.
Well, they're in fine form this season. A great start to look to improve on their 6th place finish here in Los Angeles. Handshakes all around, two traditional rivals.
And a really important win for Ireland. They're defending that spot in the standings with numerous teams attacking them. So vitally important they get out of their pool and into the Cup quarterfinal. And they've done the first job here. The French